Okay, and now I feel like I'm doing something else, and I don't know if it's working. No, I am live. It's working. The question is, this is clearly different. I'm going to need to figure out how to see the chat. Yo, 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 TiVo's in the chat, Lords of the Long Box. They've been spot on a lot of their Marvel Cinematic Universe looks ahead. I'm sure everybody already subscribes to TiVo, but he's right there in the chat, and you should definitely sub up TiVo. That guy is awesome. And yeah, TiVo, I know you're a pretty badass OBS guy. I'm just trying to get on level 1. Those that have Jane Foster in any way connected to Thor. I think I got 4 of them. So I just thought I would show you guys there, and there it is. If you go to playlists on my channel, there are several. I've got the starting line, Jane Foster Thor. I've got 2 review breakdowns where I went through all the trades that had Jane Foster as Thor. And then I made a video with my daughter Charlie on how to make your own Mjolnir out of stuff around your house. So both of those things, all 3 of those things are in that playlist there. You can enjoy that. Can't we have Legend teach us? Yes, Legend is, it's important. He's a teacher. I know technically I think he's a librarian. Still same field. It counts. Same deal. He's teaching lots of different kids at a lot of different grade levels. I am excited for Jane Foster as Thor, personally. I know that there are still people on the fence about this, still people who are protective of Thor, but I think most of the real true Thor fans who I know were super excited by what Jane Foster sort of became. And it wasn't like Thor was being thrown out. He had his own story, which was just as interesting, Thor the Unworthy. I'm really excited. I really hope Marvel continues to nail it like they've been doing all along, so I have a lot of faith. Legend is the teacher. Yes, I'm back. Does it sound just as good? Not as stuttery or whatever? Ew, it does seem a little stuttery on my iPad. But again, I think my wife's watching Netflix, so it might be a little throwing it off there. A little bit. Let's see. I'm seeing dropped frames. There's a dropped frames percentage here. Ooh, there's all kinds of little things going on. I'm just learning the controls here on kind of how this works. It sounds good. Okay, that's good. I got gotta tell it which microphone. There's like a built-in mic. My camera has a mic, and then I have the separate one. So my worry is that it's got to learn which one to use. I don't remember anybody specifically saying that, Chris Barrett. I've heard this rumor. I heard a lot of people really upset about it, but I didn't actually read a quote where somebody was saying, yes, this is our plan. I've never actually heard that quote. Nothing I read said that. It might just be people starting a fire because they don't like, women taking over a role that has been, Odin's son for so long. I think, I'm going to wait until I see it in print that somebody at Marvel is saying, legit, this is the facts. Because all the information I read about it, that never came up once, which sounds to me like some moron at his computer throwing out fire. So I'm more interested in the story that Natalie Portman and cast and crew are going to tell, which I think will be awesome. I hope she wears the outfit the character wears in the series. I know it's going to be kind of hard to see her there, but you can kind of get a sense for that. She's got this one thing that goes from elbow to wrist on the hand that holds the hammer. She's got the full plate armor. She's got the leggings, the boots with the little pieces, and then the helmet. The helmet is really kind of cool, in my opinion. I think it's cool. I dig it. I don't know if there's a close-up of the helmet that I got floating around here. Oh, I got all my Thor books right here. Why don't I just bust out some of them? Use this time well. The first issue that has like the helmet up close would be issue 1, like this. This is the one that Reggie posted on his Instagram today. It's a great book. I would argue it's not the first appearance of Jane as Thor. I know that there's the What If comic that people are big fans of, but she's like Thora or Thordra. There's like another name for her, and it's a What If, so it's not really this universe. This would be the first issue in her run, and she talks and has a story and that kind of stuff. But Thor, God of Thunder, number 25, is the first appearance in the comics and in the continuity. This is cover E. This is cover E, one of the variants. I had bought recently a cover A, and it should be here any day now, so I was ahead of the curve on that one, but I'd been slowly collecting this run for, well, since I read the trades so long ago. What ifs don't count. I would argue, yeah, that they don't count as first appearances, but everybody's different, and I would say if you like that issue, and it is a classic, I think I have a True Believers that my girls have read. That's you go with it. That's if you believe that that's the first appearance, then go with it. Valkyrie and is now the queen, but in this case, I'm the idiot staring in the room. No, I think, yeah, Valkyrie. If that's the way they want to go with that, I don't think it's going to play in and be a part of the story. I think that that's just her character and who she is and whatever. It's not really important. And if since there is no king and queen, right? The king and queen have died in the MCU, then yeah, Valkyrie would be the leader that Jane Foster is protecting. And obviously there's a small amount of Asgardians, so as a group they would need protecting. And that would mean that we need a Thor, because Thor is really not himself. You've watched what he's gone through in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Odin's son, which is kind of how I like to think of Chris Hemsworth's character, right? Odin's son has evolved, and you've seen him kind of become a wreck. And now we're getting the chance to see the opportunity for him to find his own journey. And I'm hoping that that's going to be a little bit of Guardians and the Unworthy, Thor the Unworthy. That storyline is really cool, getting him to sort of find his own place before coming back to reclaim probably that title. Jane Foster's run was designed to be her story, and then it would have an end point. That was the whole point of it. It wasn't going to be like, no, now she's Thor forever. And it was the same with Captain America and passing the shield on. So my hope is that this could become something really interesting. John, I see Valkyrie, Jane Foster. I think, yeah, that could totally happen as well. That comic is going to drop, it's next week, I think, Chris. The Jane Foster as Valkyrie comic, and I'm looking forward to that. The people involved are talented people, and the setup sounds interesting enough. I'd be curious. I'm gonna be picking it up. If it's half as good as the Thor run, I'm all in. I think it'd be fantastic. Just so you know, too, if you're looking for this is the cover A. There are many covers for this issue. I have a signed Scotty Young version right here. It's the same. So this is the cover B, and this is the cover A, the same comic. And I've seen people posting both. I think this is one of my favorite Scotty Young covers. I think it's hysterical. I think the signature is Jason Aaron, though, not Scotty Young. I don't know signatures very well. It looks like a J to me. Maybe someone can tell me. Carson is a busy man. He's a hard worker. Thank you for coming by. Seems the market has decided the market always decides. That's why 181 is the Wolverine book and 180 is the second. I think that the market always decides. And if people decide that the What If Jane Foster book is the one, then that's what it'll be. I don't want that book. Even if it is the one that hits, I wanted the story. And I bought this one first thinking, this is the beginning of the story. And then thankfully I got issues said, the ending of the Odin son story was issue 25, and they give you a splash page setting up what the next story will be, and that was this one. So for him, he was like, hey, just so you know, some people might call that the first appearance, even if you don't. And for me, it was like, I wanted to read that Jason Aaron God of Thunder storyline anyways, so I started grabbing individual issues. I think I've collected 5 or 6 issues from that God of Thunder storyline. Let's see. Yeah, I got this one. This is one of the Null early, God, was it called the God Bomb storyline, right? Just a wicked cool cover. I got this one for $1. Again, you can find a lot of this stuff in the dollar. Let me, I guess I should get into that. Not a Scotty Young fan. Yeah, and you don't have to, right? I got girls that are obsessed with him. I've seen covers that I hated, and I've seen covers of his that I was absolutely in love with. He did a Daredevil one for the Chip Zdarsky issue #1, and I thought it was hysterical. And everybody wanted all the variants, and I just went, yeah, that's a good one. Hey, excuse me. Whew. Huh. I'm a child, so I enjoy Scotty Young. I think his stuff is hit or miss. It's not for everything. It's not for everybody. For me personally, there are certain issues where I'm like, yes, I want that one. He did a little book of Avengers versus X-Men, which is amazing. And one of the covers is, no, it's a Secret Wars cover. One of the Secret Wars covers is Doctor Doom as a kid playing with little action figures, and the action figures are fighting, and he's like controlling them all. I think it's hysterical. It's one of my favorites. So funny. Yeah, I think a lot of these books are dollar books, and I would say I'm going to preach the JP budget collecting line here. Buy what you like, read what you buy, and be patient. If you feel like this, if you checked out my starting line video, and I hope you all did, where's the first trade? It should be in here. I must have pulled it out for something. The first trade is called Goddess of Thunder. And it's awesome, and you should definitely read it. And I don't know where I put it. That's weird. It should be in this box with all the other stuff. So it's 2 trades. The first, I believe it's 8 issues of Jane Foster's Thor. Just try it. You might really, really like it. But wait. Don't rush out and buy the books off eBay right now. It would be a huge mistake. I promise you in 3 months, there will be another new little shiny thing to distract people. And then fewer people will be buying those issues. And all of a sudden you can swoop in on an eBay where, nobody was paying attention, and you buy it for cover price. And I think getting these for cover price would be a sweet deal. So I just today bought a few from a buddy for less than cover price. A few of this run, the ones I was missing, kind of the middle ones. You should be able to do that for cover price or $1. I mean, they shouldn't be $50 books, $100 books. Don't do that. And yeah, try it out. See if you even like it. Maybe you won't like it. And I don't want you to feel like you paid a lot of money for a book that you don't like. So I am always a fan of reading it first. The cover art I thought was amazing in this run. I only had room for a few of them on the shelf there. But the covers are spectacular. There really is no bad stuff. I do love the one. I love this one because it was kind of a comment on how people felt about Jane Foster as Thor. So the Odin is not very happy that someone is taking over for his son. So he puts up these wanted posters. I think they're hysterically cool. And that she stole Mjolnir, right? That idea. And I think a lot of fans felt, there was definitely a lot of fans at the time who felt like this is a ripoff. Why is she Thor? And they felt like she was a false Thor. So I dug that poster as well. Favorite artist is Phil Noto. Okay, that's a good choice. One Scotty Young cover I like is the one with Stan Lee and all his That's a good one. That is a good one. I would recommend, always buy what you like and try stuff out. Don't spend $40 on a book you've never really read just because there's a movie. Sure, we would all love to have the first appearance of Blade right now. That book is skyrocketing. But I'm not a Blade fan. I'm not going to drop the insane money that people are going to be asking over the next few months for that book. I like Jane Foster's Thor, so if I see those in a dollar bin or cover price buys, I might keep filling out my run because it's only about 50 comics. The entire run of her in the main storyline is about 50 comics all told. You could also buy like New Avengers, where she was a member of that, and you could buy Secret Wars, where she was a contributing member in that storyline as well. But do you need them? I don't know. I do want to. There is here's a sneaky cover buy book you might consider if you're like looking for something cheap with Jane Foster. The cover where she's kissing Captain America, that is Sam Wilson, is a fun cover. It's really well drawn, and again, it's Captain America kissing Thor on a Marvel comic. on the cover of the Avengers, I think it's a great book. And if they ever decide to go that route for that storyline, it could be very entertaining. I just think that cover is phenomenal. And you have an African-American Captain America kissing a female Thor on the cover of the Avengers. I just thought it was cool. So that's one to think about, right? I tried to steal Mjolnir once. I threw it back, and it never came back. Hey, if you could pick it up and throw it, you're one step ahead of most of us. Blade has been a hit book for the last 20 years because that's when the first Blade movie came out. It was, but the value has fluctuated a little bit with, as the films were successful or sort of failing. When Blade Trinity came out, I think that kind of put pardon the pun, a nail in the coffin a little bit, and I think the book has died away in popularity a little bit, and then now I'm guaranteeing you it's going to hit all-time highs. So, especially considering I think nobody really saw that coming. So it does look a little stuttery on here. My worry is that with two people streaming in with Skype, it might be a bigger challenge. I'm going to research and see how the Skyping pair thing works up. Maybe I can get it running. I got a couple of live streams with other folks this week, and maybe I can make that all happen. But for right now, this is kind of cool. I appreciate people coming by. I do like Mockingbird. She's a cool character. I don't know if I like her as a romantic interest for Spider-Man, but, I think that playing with these things is kind of the fun of it. And, everybody should feel free to play in that playground wherever it takes them. And you'll like some of it and you won't like others. It's just the way it is. There's been Daredevil runs that I really didn't care for, and I'm loving the Zdarsky run right now. So you should feel free to say, you know what, I didn't like that Thor movie, but I do like this Thor movie. That's just the way it's going to be. One of the best movie homages of all time, Chris Barrett. Yeah, that was a good moment. All right, I'm going to go. I recommend, if you haven't, check out some of the Jane Foster as Thor videos I've got in my playlist there. You can go right underneath my name to playlists. It's the #1 playlist because I just created it today, and I threw all the videos I'd made. Some of them are about 9 months ago. They don't even have thumbnails. I didn't make thumbnails in those first few months. I just was like, no, I'm going to just make videos. So I may have to go back and make thumbnails for those. So there's, I think, 4 or 5 videos. You get to see Charlie and I. There's a video, how-to video, making your own hammer. Pretty cool. She still has it around here somewhere. Likes to hit her cousins with it. Thanks for coming by. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for making a test, something that's really a little better. Chris Barrett says he still doesn't make thumbnails. Hey, it took me a while to even care, and then I actually had to pay and buy a little software. It wasn't super expensive. Alec, White Whale Comics, helped me pick out the right software, and it made a huge difference. And I think my thumbnails have improved significantly. They're not all amazing or anything, but they're certainly a heck of a lot better than they were, say, 6 months ago. Or 9 months ago when I wasn't even making them. By the way, last little note, it is a few days ago was my 1-year anniversary of comic book YouTubing. I made a video for Bueller on 7/18 of 18. And so here we are, 7/22 of 2019. It's been a year of doing this. I don't know that I was very consistent at the beginning. I wasn't making a whole lot of videos. I didn't start really being consistent until September somewhere. But it's been a fun year, and I appreciate those of you that are willing to hang out with me for that time. Thank you, Old Wolf. And I hope you continue on, and who knows what the next year could bring. We're almost at 700 subscribers, so I'm prepping a 700 subscriber contest for when we get there. Let's see how we're doing on subscribers. Yeah, 694, super close. Thanks to Mr. Miracle and I think Mr. Garrel and a few people for pushing people to find my channel. Oftentimes, I think my channel, having the word kids in the title, dissuades some people from joining. But hey, it's their loss and your gain, right? So I'm going to have some cool giveaways coming with this 700 subscriber contest, but just as a way to kind of say thank you for coming by and hanging out and enjoying, hopefully, what we do. Still trying to figure out what to do for my 100 subscriber. Hey, I didn't do a subscriber giveaway until I hit 400. I was really trying to wait to 500, but I got impatient. This time I thought, you know what, I really want to do. It took a while to get from 400 to 700. I figured it's time, and I might wait to do the next one at 1,000 if I ever get there. But who knows? Thanks everybody for coming by. I appreciate it. I'm a big Jane Foster Thor fan, so I think you should read that stuff, even if you don't want to rush out and buy it, because you shouldn't right now. Wait like 5 months. I promise you a new shiny thing will come along, and you can still get these books super cheap. You'll still find them in dollar bins. I find them there all the time. So read it. Buy a trade. Check it out. It's worth the $15.99 or whatever it is. So thanks for coming by, and I hope everybody's having a nice Monday, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.